week gone on a tear. This was during our break.
Big one. Yep. Great big one.
I'm saying that wind's more than 8 that was predicted.
No
today.
doubt.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, somewhere in the game, you listen to VanDam this week, he said that heavy wind coming out of the southwest with the current hurt him. It just got that current moving way too fast where he was not able to give a natural presentation earlier in this event. And yesterday and today, with that east wind slowing that current down, obviously, VanDam said after the weigh-in, no, that east wind's going to help me with that current slowing up just a mile or two an hour. It's going to give me a big advantage on the final day.
Anytime you got the wind and the current coming from different directions, it stands up those waves, makes it look even rougher than it possibly is out there. But as you say, the perfect storm for Kevin VanDam.
Oh yeah, that's the one. Look at these guys try to sneak around where they don't get saw. They don't want their buddies to see them. Come on. This is the one we need right here. I think we've showcased that drag enough for oh God, he's only got one little bitty hook in him now. Oh, it's a big one. Lights out! Boom! 5-pounder.
Oh.
5-pounder. What did I say? Pink. Oh, where's pink?
Let's take a look at this call right here.
Maybe it was orange. Oh no, it was pink. That's a 4-pounder thrown back. Well, now I guess we try for 6s.
Started today with a 2.5-pound lead. Now you go times 5 that 2.5-pound lead, and that's where it stands right now. Here are the margins of victory in the KVD Elite Series wins, and these are strictly Elite Series wins, right, Ronnie?
Strictly Elite Series, full field wins. At the bottom, you can see his best classic winning margin right there at the bottom. But overall, guys, this could beat his Kentucky Lake 92 pounds if he is a little low on bass track right now. But definitely 90 pounds of smallmouth will, probably mean more to him than some of those 90-pound largemouth events, because that's just something you don't see often. But His biggest margin of victory in a full field elite, 7 pounds 11 ounces. Right now, 11-pound margin unofficially.
To me, where that's staggering is how close the weights were coming into this morning. That's what. Look,
6 pounds.
You know, you look at the margin of victory in a 3-day classic in the New Orleans Delta. We knew going into the last day he was going to.
Oh, he'd been doing it for 2 days straight.
Beat their brains in that tournament. This was still anybody's game. This is a different.
Well, we've had some action out here on the water. It's been, it's been an incredible day. You know, I've had a few ups and downs. That, you know, I started off strong, caught a couple of big ones right away, then lost a few, caught a few small ones, and we hit a pretty good flurry there for a while, and I lost a couple of really big ones. And it's, you know I need to have 5 that are 4 pounds or better to really be sure, you know, to be safe. You need 23 plus or 24 pounds, I figured, to make it almost uncatchable here. And you know, in the last hour or so, we've caught a couple good ones. So, I mean, I've got a limit now, and, you know, I've got one that's, it's 6 pounds all day, and I got another one that's 5, and my smallest fish is over 4. So, you know, I've got to have a really good sack today to start with. And the interesting part is I've jumped off a couple that are great big ones too. I have had a chance for just one of those stellar days. So if I'm having that opportunity, somebody else might too. So that's why we're gonna keep the foot on the gas and keep going. But I feel pretty good about it right now. Somebody's gonna have to have just a really, really special day to beat me. And if they do, they deserve to win.
Had a shot at a really stellar day.
Yes, I mean,
and if they hadn't jumped off,
you know.
Well, Davey Height sort of backed this up a little earlier. Kevin VanDam is a great guy. He does so much unselfishly to lift the sport up. But if you're out there competing with him, there's nothing he wants more than to just put his foot on your neck and just go to town.
You know, the other thing that we talked about during our halftime report. No, don't get me wrong. He wants to beat you at barbecuing, Bago, Beersby. Look, he played Beersby for his first time ever. It's a Frisbee game. You play in the water. Last week, it was his first time ever playing. You would have thought it was the final day of the Bassmaster Classic, man.
He was probably moving spectators around just to get out of his line of sight and stuff like that.
Yeah, not gonna lie.
Last little note on VanDam's margin first to 12th. 6'8" to start the day from 1st to 12th. It's now unofficially 24 pounds from 1st to 12th.
That's incredible.
That's how you wreck a tournament. In the course of a morning right there, Kevin VanDam doing what he does.
He's 11 pounds, 10 ounces ahead of second place Brock Mosley. But I've been asking folks what's the largest margin of victory on the Elite Series. I'm waiting for some Twitter answers here.
Hashtag
Overall?
Overall, in the Elites. I mean,
We know what that is. We've been talking about it, yeah.
the classic was Clun's 84, about 25 pounds. But talking Elites.
There we go.
See if our viewers know.
Nice one.
Big one right there.
That's a nice one. I keep going under the boat. I need this one. I need that one. Oh, I touched him. Oh my goodness. It's like a football.
That'll call for sure. Look at that one. I guess that was a good call there. Should call. He's not very fat, but
Good one right there for Brent Ayler. First time we've seen a hair jig since day 2.
Got some good bites he did on day 2 with that hair
Right.
jig. Brent Ayler, before that fish, had basically a 2 1/4 pound average, so he's got plenty of room to call up. I would think these guys are probably glad they don't know exactly what the scores look like right now, but anybody that cracks 80 pounds has to be proud of their week, right?
Absolutely.
20-pound average, smallmouth.
Would you say, Zona, that a hair jig and a spy bait are similar, that they don't have actions? Obviously, the profiles are different, but they're just kind of one of those straight line.
Yeah, well, that spy bait has a roll, has a side-to-side roll. It does. It actually. What's weird is it almost looks like a Senko in the water. How a Senko falls when you're just pulsing that thing and pulsing that thing.
3.5, 3 3/4.
But both of them very subtle still. Just like you said, they're very subtle. You certainly, I guess here's a point. You certainly, if you've never fished either one of those, you feel no action really on your rod.
It just loads up and they got it.
No, I mean as far as action from the bait.
Yeah, like you don't really feel it doing much, and then all of a sudden it's just heavy because you got they're on it.
Mercer nailed it. It's just like a real. It's like a small swim bait bite.
Which shows the kind of the dynamic you said yesterday when it was slick calm and VanDam started catching them when it was high skies and flat.
Right.
And he could catch them on it. And then it's rolling waves, and I was wondering if it would be productive, and it's been, even more productive.
Really for the first time this tournament, we've seen, this is Casey Ashley heading up shallow and definitely largemouth fishing. He is not in a smallmouth bay right now.
Still with 4 fish on Bass Track.
That being said, every one of these guys do their homework for these tournaments. And the FLW event that was here last summer, a lot of big stringers were caught spy baiting. Really? The tournament was won spy baiting.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, at least a percentage of the fish that came to the scale. So it's not like, what I'm saying is it's not like it just broke new ground here this week.
Well, you said it's been a deal St. Clair for some time
No
now.
doubt.
Erie also, I'm guessing.
Yeah, Luke Clausen nailed it. It's one of those techniques that when you go out and do it, you look at it in the water and you're like, really? And it does. It's one. I think one of the most interesting things that Luke Clausen said, as small as that bait is, as small as a spy bait is, you would think you'd catch a lot of fish on it. It's a big fish deal for some reason. It's not a crazy numbers deal on the majority of these smallmouth waters. It catches really big ones.
Kevin VanDam just said, time to go west with possibly 24, 25 pounds in the live well, and he's going to head away from takeoff.